It's 1966. The Vietnam War is grabbing all the headlines, and there's also the terrible Aberfan mining disaster. NASA launches its Lunar Orbiter 1, and there are TV debuts for Star Trek and Batman, and Ronald Reagan is elected Governor of California. But what about the Beatles? What were they up to? Well, there's this, but there's a whole lot more. I've got 20 questions to put you to the test, so if you're ready, let's get on with it. Below you can see a collaborative painting effort by all four of the Beatles from their 1966 Japanese tour. Initially untitled, what name does the painting now go under? Is it A, The Void, B, Images of a Woman, C, Cellophane Flowers, or D, Carnival of Light? Question 2. Picture below of the Beatles appearing on which British music show on Thursday the 16th of June 1966? Was it A, Ready Steady Go, B, The Beat Room, C, Thank Your Lucky Stars, or D, Top of the Pops? Question 3. John Lennon, pictured below, is appearing in a sketch in which 1960s comedy programme? Was it A, Not Only But Also, B, Monty Python's Flying Circus, C, The Frost Report, or D, That Was the Week That Was? Question 4. What historic event took place on August the 29th, 1966 in Beatles history? Question 5. The Beatles' 1966 North American tour started in which US city? Was it A, Chicago, B, Washington DC, C, Cleveland, or D, New York? Question 6. A collection of Beatle oldies features one track that was previously unreleased in the UK. What was it? Question 7. In the 1966 Bravo magazine Readers' Poll, the Beatles lost out in the Best British Vocal Group category to which other band? Was it A, The Kinks, B, Dee Dozy Beaky Mickett and Titch, C, The Hollies, or D, The Rolling Stones? Question 8. John meets Yoko for the first time on the 7th of November 1966 at a preview event at the Indica Gallery in London. Who was the co-owner of the gallery who invited John for that event? Question 9. George Harrison married Patricia Ann Boyd on the 21st of January 1966 at Epsom Registry Office. Who was George's best man? Was it A, Ringo Starr, B, John Lennon, C, Brian Epstein, or D, Paul McCartney? Question 10. John Lennon gave an interview to which British journalist which included his famous "bigger than Jesus Christ" comment? Question 11. Which photographer took the butcher cover photo that was used on the Capitol album Yesterday and Today? Question 12. What was burnt to prevent being sold for profit in September 1966? Was it A, suits from their final live performance, B, Ringo Starr's expired passport, C, John Lennon's hair, or D, the lyrics to Yellow Submarine? Number 13. George and Patty travelled to India in September and stayed at the Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay. What names did they stay under? Was it A, Mr. and Mrs. Sam Wells, B, Mr. and Mrs. Bernard Webb, C, Mr. and Mrs. Langelo Misterioso, or D, Mr. and Mrs. Harry Georgeson? Number 14. In an interview published in the Beatles Monthly, Ringo said, "I wanted to join, but they wouldn't let me. Told me they'd got a 3-year waiting list and I'd have to join the end of the queue." But what did Ringo want to join? Was it A, the Garrick Club, B, Equity, the Actors Union, C, the Mayfair Casino, or D, a golf club? At the time of release of their 1966 masterpiece Revolver, which record label were they contracted to? Was it A, Parlophone, B, Decca, C, EMI, or D, none of the above? Question 16. Picture here of the Beatles arriving as VIPs at a stop on their 66 world tour. But after a massive controversy, they would leave, as John would say, as ordinary passengers. But where is it on this tour stop? Is it A, Japan, B, West Germany, C, the Philippines, or D, Hong Kong? Question 17. How many concerts did the Beatles play at the Nippon Budokan Hall in Tokyo? Was it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? Question 18. John Lennon portrayed the character Gripweed during the filming of How I Won the War during the autumn of 1966. Which actor played the part of Ernest Goodbody? Was it A, Roy Kinnear, B, Michael Hordern, C, Neil Aspinall, or D, Michael Crawford? Question 19. The Beatles recorded promotional films for Paperback Writer and Rain at which estate? Was it A, Hampton Court, B, Cliveden House, C, Chiswick House, or D, Osterley Park? And finally, question 20. The Beatles track won Best British Disc this year in the 1966 NME poll. Which track was it? Was it Paperback Writer, Yellow Submarine, Here, There and Everywhere, or Eleanor Rigby? Well, those are the questions. How about some answers? So the answer to question 1 is Images of a Woman. Question 2. The Beatles appeared on Top of the Pops in June 1966. Peter Cook and Dudley Moore's programme Not Only But Also was the programme that John appeared in the sketch. And the Beatles played their last concert to a paying audience at Candlestick Park, San Francisco. The answer to question 5 was the Beatles appeared in Chicago. Bad Boy was the track that was previously unreleased in the UK. Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch was the band that beat the Beatles to the category Best British Vocal Group. John Dunbar was the co-owner of the Indica Gallery, who invited John. And Paul McCartney was George Harrison's best man at his wedding. Maureen Cleave was famously the interviewer of John Lennon for that famous interview. Question 11, Robert Whittaker took the butcher cover photograph. It was in fact John's hair that was burnt, as it had just been cut for the filming of How I Won the War. George and Patty, pseudonyms while staying at the hotel were Mr. and Mrs. Sam Wells. And Ringo couldn't become a member of the St George's Hill Golf Club, which was at the foot of his garden at Sunny Heights. The answer to question 15 is none of the above, as their current contract had expired and a new 9-year contract with the EMI Parlophone would not be signed until January 1967. The Beatles' tour stop here was in the Philippines, and on the same tour they played 5 nights, or 5 concerts rather, at the Budokan Hall. Michael Crawford was the actor who played Ernest Goodbody in How I Won the War. Chiswick House was the location for the promotional films for Paperback Writer and Rain. And finally, Eleanor Rigby was voted Best British Disc of the Year in the NME poll for 1966. So how'd you get on? And how does it compare to some of the other quizzes that we've done? Well, if you can let us know your score and any feedback in the comments below, it'd be really appreciated. Also appreciated are any likes and subscribes, so if you could do that, thank you very much. We're also looking for other content on the channel, so if you've got any themes for other quizzes or any additional content that you would like to have covered here, then please let us know. But until next time, bye for now.